I'm taping this guy coming in.
He was.
Right there.
He was. Hi, Mom.
Wake up, sir.
Yeah.
Hey.
Are we on camera?
But tell me about your first time with a woman.
Not this again. My first time was a woman. Okay. What happened is that I was like going to school at MSU. It was like my first quarter there, and I was a freshman, of course. And what happened is that when I started school there and stuff like that, you know, I was like, you know, didn't have a girlfriend. Most guys that start there and stuff don't have them. And my dad and I, when I first moved into college, he was like saying, well, you know, I think, you know, if you get a girlfriend and stuff like that, just make sure though that your education is the most important thing for you. And I go, oh, okay. So then later on that day or that week and whatever, so finally before long the band kind of like ends. You know, they're done. You know, like kaboom, crash. You know, good night.
Was it like the crash boom?
Yeah, the crash boom. Good night. And
do it again for us, will you?
Crash boom. Good night. And so what happened is that you know, well, you know, what are we gonna do now? You know, like, you know, and stuff, and so we kind of like follow him downstairs, and you know, I just thought we'd get down the bottom of the steps and like say goodnight, and that was it. Nope, wrong. I was terribly naive, and so what happened? We we ended up going out to this one parking lot, kind of like Gage is here, Gage Towers is here, and then there's like you got the student union here, and there's like this big parking lot here where like visitors park and stuff. And we went out there and stuff, and got close, you know, got to their car and stuff, and they go, hey, you guys want a beer? And I'm like, well, I've never had one before. You know, I didn't say this, but I said, I've never had one before, you know. And so they pop open the trunk, and they hand, you know, everybody gets a beer, and they hand me one. I'm like, well, okay, I'll take it. You know, I don't want to be a
What kind of beer was it?
It was Black Light Cream Ale. It's just like tasty. At least that's what I thought. I didn't know much about beer. I knew more about Kool-Aid milk, and that's about it. And orange juice. So what happened is that we got in the car, and Marie and Rob, quote unquote, you get the idea, and they were sitting in the front seat, and it was like about a 72 Chevy, and 4 doors like green or something like that, and I get in the back seat with Deb, and we're, you know, what happened is that, you know, they're Rob and this girl were sitting up front, and anyway, he after we were through talking a little bit or like exchanging phone numbers, I thought we were going to leave, but anyway, he just like leans over and gives her like a good night kiss. What a good night kiss! This was like heavy duty, you know. And what happened is that
do it again, will you?
Heavy duty.
You made a hand motion though.
Heavy duty. and so they were like leaning over there, and all of a sudden I just, you know, it just got out of hand. They got totally out of hand. All of a sudden, also before this, she started up the car because we're going to be leaving, you know. The car, boom, 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 and
what kind of car was this?
It was like a 72 Chevy Impala, somewhat like my brother has.
Kind of a lemon sort of though.
Kind of, yeah, it's a green
At least
car.
hers was.
Yeah, hers was. And what happens is leans over and stuff like that and gives her a good night kiss, and it just got out of hand. What happened is that, you know, I was like, they start sliding down the seat and stuff like that, and then all of a sudden she just like raises over the seat, takes off her pants, and I'm like, wow, what a bush! It's like, holy Toledo! Wow, I've only seen stuff like that in Playboy. That was that hot.
Really?
But anyway, it was pretty black, yeah. Yeah, it was pretty black.
Would it be as black as a chimp?
Probably about as black as your camera there.
Is it black as an ape?
Yeah, about an ape.
What did it look like? If you were to make
it was triangular shaped.
Did it look like a little gorilla sitting on there?
Yeah, it looked like a little ape just sitting on there, you know, help me, I'm available tonight, you know. And, you know, if it could speak, what the things it could probably say, you know, it's like, wow, what mind blowing. And so she raised up there, and then all of a sudden, and then I looked over at Deb and stuff. I was like kind of nervous and stuff. I looked over at Deb, and she was like, and I was like, oh no, not me too. And so anyway, I was like, all of a sudden, what happened is that somebody started, like the engine was still running, brum, 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 and somebody started knocking their knee against the horn, and the horn going, honk, 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 honk. This is like about, 12:30, 1 o'clock at night and stuff. And honking the horn, the engine was running, needed a new muffler. It was just like a terribly bad case. And then the doggone car started shaking and stuff. And I thought, oh boy. And then I looked over at Deb, and she was, oh god. And it's gold. I don't know if you can see this, where it says Pierre Cardin right there. But it has like this.
So that's the infamous belt, huh?
Yeah, that's the infamous belt. And it has a slide on it. I tell you, virgins unite. Use this belt and you'll still be virgins.
Rotate it around a little bit.
Yeah.
So how did you get it off that night when she wanted to have sex with you?
I was like, and anyway, I was wearing the same belt that night. So anyway, like she just starts getting hot. She's about. I tell you, if you touch her, it'll get a major blister, And anyway, she just all of a sudden, from like seeing here, she just like climbs right on my lap, facing me, with her knees like right here and stuff. And she starts reaching for the infamous belt here, and she's trying to like pull this slide over and stuff like that, and she just cannot do it. And I was like, she goes, take off your take off your belt and stuff. I'm like, and I'm just like, well, I'll let you do it. And she's like, going like this and stuff, and it would not come off. It would not come off that night at all. I don't know. It was like something, like probably that doggone little angel was sitting on my shoulders, leaped down my waist here, and was like sitting there holding it back, like, you're not going to get that off this guy, It's probably just sitting there like,
what was going on in the front seat at this time?
Well, anyway, the horn was honking, the car was, jolting back and forth and stuff. I tell you, they probably need a new pair of shock absorbers after that. I tell you, what a ride. That poor car was getting. And, so anyway, like, she was, like, sitting on my lap and stuff, and she's trying to take the doggone thing off, couldn't take it off, and she goes, come on, let me give you a hand. It'll feel good. I'm like, well, how will she know that it feels good? She's not a guy. And, like, anyway, what happens is that she's trying to take it off, and I go, well, and I just finally give up, and I go, well, there's one thing I got to tell you. And she goes, what? She goes, and she's like, panting like this, and stuff, it's just like so hot. And I go, well, there's something I got to tell you. What? And I go, well, my education right now is the most important thing for me. Like, wham, against the doggone back seat. And just like pissed, like, like this, and I was sitting there like this and stuff, and she cooled down real quick, and I go, I'm sorry. This little voice, I'm sorry. Yeah, and what happened, we were like, so anyway, she goes, hey, you guys up there done fucking yet? And then two little heads pop out and stuff, and it goes, oh, we didn't fuck. Yeah. And so we get out of the car and said thank you, and we're walking out, and the guy's going like this, and goes, oh, boy, that's the best night I've had in a month, and he turns to me and goes, yeah, how was yours? And I go, and we're walking along, okay.